This is Gator. Last time I told you about signing my name inside the Superdome. Andre Gator Daniels, '06, up in the rafters where it stayed forever. Today I'm going to tell you about how Bundy and I left the job. Because, brother, how you leave the job is just important how you work. This is the story of the circle of hands and what it means when the general foreman vouch for your name after you drag up. So me and Bundy, we done ran the wire. I mean the conduit up in the rafter of the Superdome. We done had the transformer raised up there, and we done built brotherhood with the roofing crew. We done signed our name up in that wall on that and up in the Superdome. And at the time, me and Bundy, we didn't have a foreman when we first got on the job because the company we worked for was Fisk, and Fisk Hertz was running the job, and that general foreman, that big Cajun dude, was who we reported to, but he had so much on his plate, he had to get another foreman for us. So they ended up getting us a guy. He walked with a limp, and this dude, he couldn't come up in that rafter to ever check on Bundy and I. So he was pretty much Tim. He got our tools, provided our information and our material if we needed, and he handed our checks. That's pretty much all this dude did. Easy job, but some kind of way the guy got fired. He got fired one day, so one lunch he decided to get on somebody's golf cart, and they so it was some big shot of the Superdome, and he ended up getting fired. So later on, they end up sending a shop rocket out there, a company DuBois, and he come trying to find Bundy and I up in that roof of the Superdome, and he couldn't find us. Bundy and I knew the back of the roof by then, like the back of our hands. He could never find where we was at. So one day he saw us, and when he was giving our check to us, and he was like, "Man, I can't find y'all up in that roof up there for nothing in the world." He was like, "I need y'all to go up there and get y'all tools and bring them down, and I want y'all to work down and bottom with the rest of the crews." And I told Bundy right then and there, I said, "Bundy, if I bring my tools down, all I'm going home. It's time for me to go home. It's over. This job over." So Bundy said the same thing to me. So we knew this chapter was finished. It was time to move on to the next call. So, Bundy and I, we ain't storm out. We ain't make no scene. We ain't disappear on the job or ghost the job. We walked in the general foreman office like professionals. That big Cajun dude who was shaking up there in that rafter when we started with that job. We told him straight up, we finished, we dragging up. No drama, no excuses, no burning bridges. Just, we done our time. We did our time. We did good work. It's time for us to move on. Then the general foreman stood up. He extended his hand, man. He shook our hand, and like a real firm handshake, like a real man, he respected our word. He shook Bundy's hand the same way, same respect. Then he was like, "Man, you boys did a good job, man," he said. "And not you boys did okay, not thank you for showing up." He was like, "You did a good job." That word good, man, that carried weight. That general foreman said, "Your work was solid. Your name is clean. You earned your pay." And then the general foreman walked out the office, and then in a circle, a bunch of hands, of the general foreman's brother on the crew. He made an announcement loud enough for everybody to hear. Gator and Bundy are leaving, man. Then he paused for a second. Then he was like, "Man, they did a good job." Then he made another pause. Then he was like, man, they could come back anytime. In that moment, you could feel it, man. The weight of a good name. Not a paycheck, not a bonus, but a rare currency, man, of respect, man. It landed like it landed like a lead plate on your chest, man, heavy and real solid, man. That's what it meant. They could come back anytime. Those 5 words, man, that meant everything. That meant your work was good enough to be vouched for, man. Your attitude was professional. You didn't burn your bridges when you left. The doors stay open, man. Your name is clean. Your name is clean in this book. Now, Rick Luther, man, that's a good dude, bro. He was in that circle, and he heard every word. He saw us leave and all that. He saw the general foreman vouch for him, and Rick was about to make a call, and you can work a job perfectly. You can run you can ruin it all on how you lead. You can be the best wireman in your crew and toss everything, your reputation, by walking out wrong. But if you lead right, the doors stay open. Your name stay clean. Word travel good instead of bad. Next job here, you solid before you even arrive. That's what Billy Joe taught me. You're not to be a company man. That's why Kevin walked out of Bayonne with his head high. That's why I stayed on the elevator in Atlanta. So when the day comes, you leave. You can leave like a professional. So here's what you need to know. How you leave a job matter as much as how you work it. You can run perfect conduit. You can land perfect gear. You can show up on time every day. But if you drag up wrong, if you burn the bridge, if you leave your name dirty, none of the other work matter. Bundy and I walked into that general foreman office, shook his hand, and told him we was done. He stood up in a circle of hand and told everyone they did a good job. They could come back anytime. That weight, that lead plate of respect settling on your chest, that's what your name being your currency really means. Not that people remember you worked there, but people vouch for you after you leave. That's currency. That's open doors you don't even know about yet. That's reputation that travel faster than you do. And brother, we're about to find out just how fast.